When it comes to high-end credit cards, most of us are not surprised when companies decide to refresh them. And usually what that means is they raise the annual fees, they throw on some credits that may or may not be useful but are very difficult to use, and they call it a day, hoping that maybe people don't analyze the card and realize that the person who lost value isn't the company, it's those of us who are consumers. But sometimes a card is refreshed and it's actually made a lot better. And in my opinion, that has just happened with the American Airlines Executive World Legend Mastercard from Citibank. I've had this card for 5 years, and I've used this card constantly, including going to hundreds of Admirals Club lounges over the past 5 years. And with a lot of experience in this card, I gotta say, under this new refresh, I am very excited. This card's gotten a lot better. I had considered actually canceling, downgrading the card before, but now, no way. It just moved to one of the most useful cards in my wallet. So let me tell you why. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and let's dive into it together. So the Citi Executive card for American Airlines was a $595 card. That kind of the big important part of the card is it gave you Admirals Club access. So it was an unlimited Admirals Club membership for you and 2 guests or you and your immediate family, and you could use it over and over and over and over. So for those of us who are kind of road warriors who travel a lot, I've used this card, almost 30 times last year. I'm probably at 20 visits this year, 30 or 40 the year before. We use this card a lot for lounge access. And that really was the big reason why I kept the card. In fact, I kind of despised some of the other parts of the card. I kind of had to hold my nose to justify keeping the card simply because it was basically how I paid for my Admirals Club lounge membership. Now, it had a few little credits I would use, but I would never have considered the card a card that had great credits where I felt I got more back than what I was spending on the card until I factored in all the visits to the Admirals Clubs. But now the card has changed. So in true refresh fashion, Citi has raised the fee from $595 to $695. Now, that really shouldn't surprise us because that puts it right in line with their competitors. The United Club card is $695, and the American Express Delta Reserve is $650. I've had both of those cards in the past as well. So the new annual fee is indeed $100 higher, but it's not an unreasonable amount for one of these cards, being that it's right there with its competitors' cards. The question is, did the card get better? Is it worth $695? And I would argue that this card is leaps and bounds better than it was. And in fact, it's way worth far more, even at $695, than it was when it was at $595. Because at $595, all I really got back was $240 a year, and that's if I was super diligent about the Grubhub credit. It gave a $120 a year Grubhub credit broken up into $10 a month, but it was super hard to use because Citi doesn't do it like some of their competitors where it's based upon a calendar month. That's easier to track. No, it would be tied to your statement, and so I would have to figure out when that was going to cut, and if it was time to use a new credit, it was just a pain. And because of that, I missed it 2 or 3 times a year, didn't get my full value. It also had a $120 credit for Avis and budget that could be used in one shot. Got that every year. That was pretty easy. So I got between $200 and $240 back on a $595 annual fee. So is it better? I think so. Now the card retains some of its great value propositions. The first is Admirals Clubs. You still get 2 guests, and that in the lounge world is awesome. And if you fly on American, you're going to be flying through their hubs, and you're going to encounter Admirals Clubs that you'll be able to use. Usually they'll be close to your gate. To be able to bring in 2 guests every time you go, or bring in your whole family every time you go, that is a great lounge policy. You're still getting that. You're also still getting that $120 a year Avis or budget credit. That's really easy to use if you rent cars at all. I've used it every single year, no problem. So I'm still going to get that $120. Now, they only really took one thing away, and I'm not complaining at all. They took away that $120 Grubhub credit that was such a pain to use. So I'm not going to miss that one because it got replaced with other things. What's new on the card is it has a $100 in-flight credit. So you can use this for food, drinks on the plane, or if you were to buy something, I don't know what all you could buy. I think they have to-go food and stuff in the lounge, but if you buy things in the lounge, it works for that as well. And I'm not crazy about this credit, but I'll get my value from it. I have this on my Globe card as well, and I always get value from it because I just buy the snack boxes and stick them in my backpack or whatever. You should see the flight attendant when the rewards master is asking her for 7 tapas boxes, but it's happened before, let me tell you, just because I know I'm going to get the money back on that. So that's kind of a wash because it's not a great credit, but I know I'll use it and I'll get some value from it. But some of the other new credits are kind of interesting. Now, one that I'm not sure, so I'm not really factoring it in my value proposition, is this Omni Hotels partnership that they now have. Omni Hotels, there aren't a lot of them, but we do travel to Texas a lot, and there seem to be several there. And what it is they're giving you their champion status, second to the top status with Omni Hotels. That gives you things like, early check-in, late checkout, possible room upgrades, things like that. But then they also will give you a free night certificate once you do 2 paid nights, consecutive paid nights. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to use this, but I'm going to experiment with it. I'll probably try to find a super cheap paid hotel stay for 2 nights, maybe $150 to $200 a night, stay in those 2 nights, and then get the certificate and then try to use the certificate for the most expensive night I possibly can. That's the kind of gaming I like to do. So I'm excited to try that out, but I'm not really factoring that into my value proposition either. Now, they did increase the Lyft credit. Now, you notice when I talked about what I got back from the card before, I did not mention the Lyft credit because it is truly one of the dumbest, most absurd credits on any credit card in the world. It was on the previous iteration of this card. It's not any better because they did increase it from $120 a year, $10 a month to $180 a year, $15 a month. But it's still got this restriction that is so crazy. It's only after you take 3 paid Lyft rides. So it's on the 4th paid Lyft ride. And even though I've never done it because I thought it was ridiculous from the start, this, I think, has to go on your AA Executive card, so you're not going to earn good on those Lyft rides. It's just something I just don't even consider as even being on the card. It's so very, very useless. But the things that are useful, I'm very excited about, is first of all, this $500 broken up twice a year, $250 and $250, first half of the year, second half of the year, for AA vacations. Now, when this card first came out, I mentioned this in a live and I said I was going to examine it. So I did a little research. And it turns out that when you book through AA vacations, it actually can give you some better prices. Now, I'm not saying that'll happen every time, and your results may vary. But I found that you could sometimes get the flight and a hotel for about the price of the flight if you just bought it separate. And so it works even for short stays, so going for 2 days or whatever. And since I do a lot of paid flights that I get reimbursed on from work and consulting and things like that, this is going to work great. I'm going to get that back. And also, you don't even have to do a flight. You could just do a hotel and a rental car. So if you're going for 1 night or 2 nights, you could book a hotel and a rental car and probably get it pretty close to $250. This seems to be, if it works out like I think it will, and I can't test it until all these changes come into effect, it seems to be an easy $500 a year to get back for me. So already it's surpassed what I got before with that $100 in-flight and then this credit and then the repeat of the $120 Avis and budget credit. We're already seeing a lot better card than what they had before. Now, another thing this card added is it made its ability to earn status points with American that they call loyalty points even better. And this card already was kind of the king of earning loyalty points because you get 1 loyalty point per dollar on everything that you spend on the card, and that helps you get to a higher status level. And then the card before gave you an extra 10,000 loyalty points when you hit the 50,000 loyalty point threshold, not spend on the card. However you earned the loyalty points. When you hit 50,000 points, you got an extra 10. When you hit 90,000 points, you also got an extra 10. So you could earn 10,000 plus 10,000, 20,000 more loyalty points with this card before. It still has that. But then they added 2 more tiers, even above that. Now, they're not necessarily going to benefit everybody because you got to be reaching high status because they're way up in the mid 100,000s and even over 200,000 to get the extra 10,000 and 10,000, so 20,000 more. But for people chasing high status and high spenders, this card just got better to reach status with American Airlines, which I think is very, very good. And then the one change that they made that I'm maybe most excited about is its earnings at AA Hotels. Now, the card doesn't earn super great. You do get 4x on American Airlines operated flights. And then if you spend a whole bunch of money on the card, at some point you get 5x. But I mean, that's out of most people's ability to spend on this card. But still, 4x on American Airlines isn't bad. And then it gave 1x on everything else. So certainly not a spender card. But it used to give 10 points per dollar on American Airline hotel bookings. Now it gives 12 points per dollar at AA Hotels. And that is very exciting to me because AA Hotels are a points, but even more than points, are a loyalty points earning machine. So to get 12x on that hotel platform, and are they sometimes slightly more expensive? Sometimes, but much of the time, they're very close to what you're going to find through other platforms. So you book a hotel night and you can get 12x on the purchase, plus you get all the bonus loyalty points and American miles for purchasing the hotel room. And it changes with every hotel, but there are many of them that are like on a $300 a night hotel. You're going to get 10,000 extra loyalty points sometimes and 10,000 extra AA miles. Now that changes. Some of them are 2,000 extra, some of them are 3,000, some of them are 4,000. But AA Hotels are a loyalty point machine for those of us who care about status with American Airlines. So what's my overall verdict? This card has shot to the top of my wallet as one of my most valuable cards. And it was valuable before, but now it's very valuable because it's paying for itself. With those credits and things now, the card is easy to justify in the return I'm getting through the credits for that $695 annual fee. Well, let me know what you think of the card down below. Thank you for being here today. I hope that you'll consider my channel memberships. I have 2 tiers. You can check those out down below. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you here next time.